Welcome back, students, to online learning platform Gyan Vidyapith online education. I hope, students, that you all are fine and safe at your home. Students, today we are going to revise this poem from our main textbook, Flamenco. The name of this poem is My Mother at 66 and composed by Kamla Das. Students, from the title itself, we can have the clear idea about the concept because title is actually the reflection of the theme, the central idea of any work of literature, and that's why title can be always relevant to the work of art. Here, the title is My Mother at 66. It means, and composed by Kamla Das, it means right now the person who has composed the poem, Kamla Das, is talking about the mother, her mother, and that's why, and especially age here mentioned 66. My mother at 66. It means Kamla Das here is talking about her mother when actually her mother is at the age of 66. Students, इस पोएम में जो यहाँ के हमारे पोइटिस्ट हैं वो अपने मदर के बारे में डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, उनके बारे में हमें एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं, बोल रहे हैं, जबकि उनके मदर की एज 66 years है. So here it is the main concept of the title. And now what is there in this poem? Let's see first. In this poem, students, we are going to discuss these points. The first one is about the poet, then the central idea, it means the theme of the poem, then the poem itself, that what is the actually the stanzas, the words, the composition, how is that the original work, that we will discuss, the summary, the overview of this poem, key points of this poem, vocabulary, how new words are arranged, the meanings, that also we will discuss, and the poetic device also we will discuss in the poem, because that is also very important, especially for the poem, because poem deals with rhythm, rhyme schemes, specific poetic devices, figures of speech. So many things can be found in the work of art, especially with the पोएम. जब भी किसी भी पोएम का कंपोजिशन होता है तो वो पोएम का वर्क है वो प्रोज से, लेसन से काफ़ी अलग होता है, क्योंकि जो पोएम है वो रिदम के साथ डील करती है, अलग अलग साउंड्स के साथ डील करती है, फिगर ऑफ स्पीच के साथ भी डील करती है, राइमिंग स्कीम के साथ भी डील करती है, और इसके अलावा भी बहुत कुछ सारे पॉइंट्स होते हैं जो पोएम में डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. सो दैट वी हैव टू स्टडी इन दिस पोएम. Wherever you find any kind of difficulty, you can ask me anytime. Okay, let's first have the glance about the composition, actually who has composed this poem, Kamla Das, and about her we are going to discuss today. First, Kamla Das, also known as Kamla Surya, was born. Actually, she's not only well known about Kamla Das, but she's also very famous as Kamla Surya. That is also her name. You may search on Google also, it is easily available. Was born on 31st March 1934 in Melbourne, Kerala. She was an Indian English poet and elitier. See, Indian English poet means Indian English. See, English literature, this term is very vast term, very wide term. And Indian English means, of course, she is writing in English language, but how kind of literature is there? Language is English, but literature of which culture? That is of Indian community. That's why it is said that Indian English. Okay, so many kinds of English we can find. American English, British English, Australian English, New Zealander English, Indian English. So here it is said about Indian English. language, it is English, but represents the culture of India. That's why. And at the same time, a leading Malayalam author. Her popularity in Kerala is based chiefly on her short stories and autobiography written under name Madhvi Kutti, while her air in English written under the name Kamala Das is noted for the poems and split autobiography. So it is the basic brief introduction of Kamala Das. Some of her works in English include the novel Alphabet of Lust 1977. This is basic introduction. It will not be asked in examination, but we should know this. Collection of short stories Padmavati, The Harlot and Other Stories 1992, in addition to 5 books of poetry. She is a sensitive writer who captured the complex subtleties of human relationships in lyrical idiom. My Mother at 66 is an example. It means in complex work also she presents in such a beautiful manner. This is also the kind of art, the kind of technique, and all the people do not possess this quality. Kamala Das has received many awards for her literacy contribution, including few of them are, these are the names. Students, you may have the glance of these awards. These awards are described, and especially she has possessed these awards. You may have the glance of this thing. Suppose you want to remember, on 31st May 2009, age 75, she died at a hospital in Pune. This date also you can remember. Now let's come to the main point, the central idea of this poem. Aging is an important phase of human life. A person enters his childhood, experiences youth, when he is full of energy and dreams to have luxury of life. Finally, he approaches his old age and encounters death. Relationship between people becomes stronger at every aspect of life, and they can't bear separation due to aging. Actually, aging is very significant phase in everyone's life. Why? Because when a person becomes aged, a person possesses, a person can have a lot of memories and the full growth of experiences, including good experiences and bad experiences. All the experiences teach us a lot. Suppose we have good experience, then we can know what to do, what is good, what should we continue. When we make a mistake, when something unhappy happens with us, that we become upset, we become sad, that bad experience gives us lesson that what not to do and what to do in the future. Which mistake should not be happened again, should not be repeated again in the future, and which correction can be made for the better life. So the aged person is the mixture of all these qualities. In the earlier age, when there is a child, a person, when a person is a child, there is no stress, there is no tension, nothing to be worried. But when we grow up, when the age becomes, that it can be increasement in the age, then we find a lot of tension, responsibilities, the fear of failure, the joy of success. So many things we can find through these experiences, and aged people have this bundle of experiences throughout the life. जब भी हम छोटे बच्चे होते हैं उनके पास ऐसा कोई भी फियर नहीं होता है किसी भी चीज़ का, कोई भी टेंशन नहीं होता है। पर जैसे जैसे हम बड़े होते जाते हैं हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती है, हमारे फ़र्ज बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं और हमें सफल होने की खुशी भी इतनी होती है और असफल होने का डर भी हमें इतना सताता है। सो जो एजेड पर्सन होता है, जो बुज़ुर्ग लोग होते हैं, उनकी जो लाइफ होती है वो ऐसे बहुत तरीके से मिक्सचर से भरी हुई होती है और जो वो बहुत ही एजेड हो जाता है तब उनका नेचर कभी कभी बहुत इरिटेटिंग भी हो जाता है और सम केसेस में उनका नेचर बहुत शांत भी हो जाता है। डिपेंड्स अपॉन द सिचुएशन, ये सिचुएशन पे डिपेंड करता है। और पूरी लाइफ उन्होंने इतने सारे रिलेशंस अटैच किए होते हैं, इतने सारे रिलेशंस बनाए हुए होते हैं कि एट द एज ऑफ लास्ट टाइम, जब लास्ट टाइम होता है उनकी लाइफ में, तब ऐसे रिलेशन से, ऐसे लोगों से दूर होना उसके लिए बहुत ही डिफ़िकल्ट, इनफैक्ट इम्पॉसिबल हो जाता है और उसे वो कभी बर्दाश्त नहीं कर पाते। इट इज़ रियली डिफिकल्ट, इवन इट इज़ नॉट बेरेबल इवन टू हैव अ separation from the people you really love throughout the life. So here also there is a kind of specimen of these kind of feelings and attachment, presenting the feelings of aged person, especially the mother of the poetess Kamala Das. Okay, let's have the description. In this poem, the poet relates a personal experience. Of course, it can be related with general people also because it is about the people, aged people in general sense. But the poetess want to convey her message about her own experience, her personal experience about her mother. She brings out a common paradox. Paradox means a kind of opposition, contrast we can say. Paradox of human relationships and portrays a sensational separation of a mother and a daughter. Students, you may note this point. Portrays a sensational separation of a mother and a daughter. Here it is a description of sensational aspect, especially the separation of mother and a daughter, and it is not bearable especially for the mother who reaches at the age of 66. She has been able to capture almost all the emotions which a daughter is filled with. On bidding farewell to her beloved mother, sometimes we do feel deep sympathy for someone, but we fail to express it in a proper manner. Actually, she's been able to capture almost all the emotions which a daughter is filled with. In this poem, we can find so many, almost all the emotions that a daughter can feel for the mother. But what is said here, on bidding farewell, forbidding the farewell to her beloved mother, her loving mother, sometimes we do feel deep sympathy for someone, but we fail to express it in a proper manner. This is also human habit. Sometimes we feel sympathy for the person, but we cannot express it. Sometimes with our family also, with our friends also, with our classmates also, we feel sympathy, but we cannot show it in a proper manner. Okay, let's see the poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. It is, see, here it is the description of an incident. The poetess describes her own feelings, her own experience, real life based experience. Students, poem can be composed in two manners. It can be on the base of imagination and also it can be on the base of reality also. जब कभी भी पोएम को हम कंपोज करते हैं तो हम टू टाइप से उस पोएम को कंपोज कर सकते हैं. फर्स्ट कि हम हमारे इमेजिनेशन के बेस पर हमारे फीलिंग्स को डिस्क्राइब करते हैं, एंड सेकेंड कि हम अपनी रियल लाइफ के बेस पर हमारी फीलिंग्स को डिस्क्राइब करते हैं। यहाँ की जो कवयित्री है, यहाँ की जो पोएटिस है, उन्होंने किस तरह से इस पोएम को डिस्क्राइब किया है, उसने अपना रियल लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस यहाँ पे शेयर किया है कि उसके रियल लाइफ में क्या हुआ था। उसके रियल लाइफ का जो एक्सपीरियंस था अपनी मदर के साथ, वो उसने यहाँ पे शेयर किया है। और द बिगिनिंग ऑफ दिस पोएम डिस्क्राइब्स लाइक दिस: ड्राइविंग फ्रॉम माई पेरेंट्स होम, means my parents' home. It was not on my, of course it was of her home, but the different home where she is not actually living. That's why she has told that my parents' home to Cochin last Friday. The poem has been composed here in the past tense. That's why it is said that Friday morning I saw my mother beside me. There is my mother beside me and I saw her. Here I means the poetess Kamala Das. That when I was leaving my parents' home and I was going to my home to Kochi last Friday, I saw my mother beside me. Then doors, open mouth, her face ashen like that. Here, what's the meaning of doors? She was half sleeping, she was yawning, that kind of thing. Doors, open mouth, her face ashen like that, of a corpse, and realized with a pain. Here you can find the description of the mother, that how was her posture and gesture during this incident beside the poetess, that she was looking very pale. She was half sleeping even. She was not that much aware. She was not even fully awakened. And she was looking very dull because she was aged also. And that's why she was looking very weak also. And realized with pain that she was as old as she looked but soon. यहाँ पे पोएटिस जो है उसे रियलाइज होता है कि उनकी माँ की काफ़ी एज हो चुकी है, वो बहुत ही एजेड दिख रही है। यहाँ पे फर्स्ट स्टैंजा में पहले इंसिडेंट को मेंशन किया है, उसके बाद डिस्क्रिप्शन आता है, अपीयरेंस आता है, जो मदर है, एजेड मदर है, उसका अपीयरेंस आता है, उसका डिस्क्रिप्शन आता है, और पोएटिस को रियलाइज होता है कि उनकी मदर की अब काफ़ी एज हो चुकी है। एंड इट वॉज दैट लुकिंग दैट शी वॉज इन पेन, वो बहुत ही प्रॉब्लम में है मदर। प्रॉब्लम में इन द सेंस कि वो स्ट्रेस्ड आउट है और उसे काफ़ी तकलीफ हो रही है इन सभी से, ऐसा उसे रियलाइज हो रहा है, ऐसा उसे लग रहा है। Pushed that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the married children spilling. See, in this picture also you can see, आपके यहाँ पे राइट हैंड साइड पे जो पिक्चर दिया गया उसमें भी आप देख सकते हैं कि चिल्ड्रन कैसे खेल रहे हैं फ्रीली, और ट्रीज़ जहाँ पे हम कभी कार में या कभी ऐसे ट्रैवल करते हैं ना बस में, तब हमें कैसे लग रहा है कि जैसे एक लाइन में सभी ट्रीज़ कैसे रनिंग कर रहे हो, वैसे हमें जो दिखाई देता है ना, उसी सीनरी की यहाँ पे बात की गई हुई है। यहाँ पे पोएट्स और एजेड मदर के एंगल से इसे देखा गया है। Let's proceed further. Out of their homes, but after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, when, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache. See students, you can find that this is the long sentence. Like the stanza, when stanza ends up, then also the sentence cannot be completed. That kind of long sentence we can find in this poem. Okay, it was about the earlier incident, right? Incident is going on now, but earlier they were in car, they were driving, they were going through. It was the travel, and now it is about security checking at airport. The location changes. In earlier poem, the earlier portion, they were on the way, and right now they are at airport. Checking, security checking. Or the poetess observed, again she observes the face of the grandmother. It was so pale, so weak, like dull, as a late winter's moon. Students, here you can find the figure of speech, personification also, and similes also. Okay, simile क्यों यहाँ पे हम because it is used as no, that's why the comparison has been made, that's why it becomes figure of speech. Simile, familiar act means pain, for example headache, it means the pain of head. So अगेन जो पोएटिस है यहाँ पे अपनी मदर का पुराना वाला जो एक्ट है उसे फाइंड करता है, पुराना वाला दर्द जो है उनके फेस पे फाइंड करता है, दैट मदर इज नॉट हैप्पी, शी इज अपसेट, शी इज सैड, माई चाइल्डहुड फियर बट ऑल आई से वॉज सी यू सून अम्मा। पर पोएटिस ने और कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं बोला, उसने क्या बोला कि दैट वी विल मीट सून, सी यू सून अम्मा मीन्स हम जल्द ही मिलेंगे, ऐसे उसने बोला. इट मीन्स शी लेफ्ट, शी डिडंट stay there at the same place with mother. All I did was smile and smile and smile and smile. Here you can find the repetition of the same words. It shows the kind of rhythm. What to say that I didn't do anything else, I didn't do even nothing. What did I do that? I smile and smile and smile. जो पोएटिस है उसने ज़्यादा कुछ भी नहीं बोला, उसने सिर्फ अपनी मदर की ओर स्माइल किया, स्माइल एंड स्माइल एंड स्माइल एंड स्माइल. सो हियर फ्रॉम दिस पोर्शन द पोएम एंड्स अप. यहाँ पे जो पोएम होती है वो ख़त्म होती है, उसका फर्दर पोर्शन जो है डिटेल में जो हमें डिस्क्राइब करना है, डिस्कस करना है, वो हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो लेक्चर में डिस्कस करेंगे. सो स्टूडेंट्स, बी अवेयर अबाउट दिस थिंग. The whole poem, the entire poem deals with the idea, the thinking of the poet's personal experience about her old mother. The age of the mother is 66. From this idea, the title has been made, My Mother at 66. The poetess, the name of this poetess is Kamala Das. The entire poem deals with this central idea of the character of the mother. The earlier stage of life, then the age, the mother is aged and that's why she's not happy, she's not pleasant, she feels that kind of ache, the pain of body also, and of course the pain from life also. The hidden meaning also we have to understand, because this is the poem and that is the habit of the poet, that every time the poet explains us something in a deeper way. That is not important, students. It is not necessary that the words show and the same meaning, the moral also should be conveyed. It is not so. The words can also different and sometimes the meanings also present some different thing. So it is called the hidden meaning. We have to understand this. Okay, so here also not only the physical condition of the mother but also emotional condition of mother has been described. Of course she felt ache, but it was not of the body only, it was of the heart also. So that in this manner also we have to understand. So students, your today's homework is you have to describe the central idea of this poem in detailed manner. Yeah, in detailed manner. Just don't finish your answer in 4 or 5 lines. Now you are the students of 12th standard, so you have to be aware about these things also. You have to write according to these also, and don't copy from any kind of source. Okay, suppose you find any kind of difficulty, any doubt, I'm always here for you, to guide you, to help you. Be honest and write in your own way. Thank you. Have a nice day.